So in this video, I want to make a disclaimer on why I recorded some extra videos after this point in the playlist of this workshop. The skills necessary to pass the content assessment on rational number arithmetics should include knowledge of skills that predate this point of a 7th grader curriculum. In order to succeed, you need to know how to work with fractions and decimals. The rules that I showed you in the first 3 videos, how to add and subtract and multiply and divide numbers, including those that are negative, are new skills that apply to 7th grade, especially when dealing with negative numbers. But the same skills apply seamlessly to fractions and decimals, and it should be easy for someone who already knows how to deal with them to use them there. However, if you don't remember or are kind of rusty or had a bit of a bad year in learning these skills in 5th and 6th grade, you may need a good review of how to deal with fractions and decimals. And I'm going to include in that review the information about 7th grade. So I'm going to show examples of subtracting and adding negative numbers involving fractions and decimals. But they're considered extra because most of the time is going to be spent on reviewing skills that you should already know. So for example, in the first video, I'm going to go over fractions. I'm going to talk about what they are, what's the numerator, what's the denominator, and the difference between a proper and improper fraction, as well as how to convert between improper fractions and mixed numbers and vice versa. I'm also going to talk about multiplying and dividing fractions and how to simplify answers which are not as simple as they could be. Then I'm going to talk about finding the common denominator and how to add and subtract fractions using that skill. Some of these skills will be discussed in more than one way because there's different ways of doing it. So I'm going to give you a kind of like few ideas on how to handle them. I'm also going to talk in the next video about operations involving decimals. That I'm going to describe what decimals are and how you can read them. Then how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide them. Finally, I'm going to describe some basic terminology that a good 7th grader should know, starting with a review of the number line and then talking about what opposite numbers are. Then I'm going to review things like odd, even, integers, natural numbers, rational numbers, and prime numbers. I'll also talk about absolute value and the difference between the word difference and the word distance when it comes to math. I'll even include a little bit about what reciprocal numbers are and why they're important in operations, especially when it comes to multiplying and dividing, especially with fractions. I'll also review the basics of properties of operations, which are important for addition and multiplication and show up in all kinds of operations we'll be doing during the 7th grade year. And I'm also going to show you words associated with addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication, which are useful in trying to solve or decipher word problems involving arithmetics, as well as words that mean equality. So this is what I'm going to spend the rest of this lecture series on. It is not necessary to watch it if you feel like you are comfortable with these skills. But if you feel like you need to, you can actually watch them. If you skip these videos, on the last video of the playlist, I will review the skills associated with the 7th grade content anyhow in a review of practice problems that are on the workshop sheet. So at least watch that one. Okay. I hope that this is helpful, and I'll see you on the next video.